Hey there, this is attorney Sarah Holmes of Holmes Business Law P.C. We are a business and general counsel law firm in Philadelphia and the suburbs. Today we are talking about how to DIY file a federal trademark application. In all honesty, most of the time we do not advise people to DIY file trademark applications. However, we know that as a point of practicality, people do this all the time and they run into lots of problems. And so at least if you're going to do that anyway, here's a video that maybe will give you a couple good tips. So number one is do a very careful trademark search. Many people will go onto the USPTO website, they might run a search and they say, hey, great, there's nothing with my name, I'm going to go ahead and file. The problem with that is that the USPTO is not only concerned with direct name matches. They are also concerned with anything that looks like, sounds like, can mean the opposite of, sounds similar to, or could be in any way confusing to the name or logo or anything else that you want to file. So just doing a basic name search is not going to be good enough. You might be shocked to later find out that your trademark is refused because someone else has a name with simply one other word or letter added to it. So when you're doing a search yourself, try to come up with as many different variations of the name that you want as possible and search all of them. That's a very tedious and time-consuming process, and really when you hire a lawyer to do this work, that's why we charge money to do this. Is it's tedious, time-consuming, there's a lot of things to comb through. But if you want to do it yourself, that's really the best answer and what you should do. Secondly is research very carefully what it is that USPTO is asking you with all the questions. The application may sometimes seem easy, but it's really not. And so if you answer things incorrectly, very rarely do you have a later opportunity to go back and correct anything that isn't quite right. One area where we see people screw stuff up all the time is actually in the identity of the owner of the trademark. There is a very significant legal difference between you yourself as an individual person owning a trademark versus your company, like let's say your LLC or your business owning the trademark. If you submit answers on a trademark application that are inconsistent as to the ownership, meaning in one place it looks like your company owns it, in another place it looks like you yourself as a person own the trademark, the USPTO will again issue a refusal on your trademark and you will have to clear those answers up. It may also cause later problems in terms of if you do want your business to own it and you registered it to yourself, you may have to later assign that trademark to your business, which is going to cost you significant money and filing fees and more problems down the line. So be very careful and know and understand what USPTO is asking you in its questions on the trademark application. The next area is be careful and be very detail-oriented in your description of the goods and services that you're putting in that trademark application. Later on, you can make some minor amendments to this. However, you cannot expand what you're doing. So if you file for categories or things that it doesn't look like it's stuff you're actually doing, it's too narrow, you can't later go back and change those and add classes to your trademark application. You'd have to go file a totally new application, which means your clock starts all over again, and that could be a very long period of time that you have to wait. So be very careful with your descriptions of goods and services. Finally, make sure that everything in your application is consistent and accurate. When they examine these applications, they're very much looking for any inaccuracies or inconsistencies. This is particularly so with the evidence that you're submitting of the use. If you're submitting a trademark application for something that you're using today and you're basing it on actual use and submitting evidence, that evidence needs to match exactly, number one, the name you're submitting for the trademark, and it needs to match exactly, number two, the description of the goods and services that you are putting in that trademark application. If those things are not consistent, you will get a refusal from the trademark office. You may get an opportunity to correct some of those things, but you're going to be very limited into how you could in any way revise that application once it's been submitted. So if you want to DIY your trademark application, you can do that. Good luck. Those are some easy tips for you. If you need help with an application or help with the search, feel free to reach out to our office. Our number is 215-482-0285. Thanks.